Yesterday we were playing a deck with a pretty similar formula. Let me just go ahead and... I've kind of reached the stage of the season where none of the deck names over here have the... are like, actually correct. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Okay, sorry. I forgot I started drafting over it. Dang, I started drafting over it. Never mind. Okay, but we were playing a Time Warp deck yesterday that was playing 4 Shardless Agent, 4 Up the Beanstalk, and a bunch of Time Warps in order to, like, use that as your taking turns card draw engine. We had a pretty good day with the deck yesterday. I think we finished 10 and 5. Certainly pretty reasonable results. The deck was feeling and looking good too, I think, which is also important to note. But after yesterday's stream, I kind of couldn't help but feeling like the worst part of that deck was the Time Warps, was the taking turns plan. It was, slow to get online. And a lot of times when we were casting Time Warps with our beans in play, it felt like we were winning a game that we were, like, kind of, like, never going to lose anyways. And that was just kind of, like, our win condition. Obviously, Time Warp did get us out of some situations that were kind of sticky, but would we have been in those situations if our mana curve was just lower? And so I started cooking a little bit, and I somehow ended up here. I think one thing, we're playing Bloodbraid Elf kind of over Time Warp. That's how we started. And then when you play Bloodbraid Elf over Time Warp, you also get access to Fury, since you have a higher number of red cards. And Fury, obviously, in a deck with a million Up the Beanstalks is really exciting. Shardless Agent will still always hit Up the Beanstalk when you cast it, which is a great way to get your engine online. Bloodbraid Elf can hit a Teferi, a Nissa, a Shardless Agent, or an Up the Beanstalk. I think that's going to be a fantastic card. Bloodbraid Elf into any of these is going to be a very powerful spell when you cast it. Nissa can also find Bloodbraid Elf, because Bloodbraid Elf is an elf. It's in the name. Making Nissa a bit more powerful too. Kind of wanted to play the third Nissa with all these Bloodbraid Elves, but I think I decided to play the first Omnath over the third Nissa so I could get a higher red and white card count for pitching. It could be correct to play second Omnath to get one more card count for pitching, but the thing is, like, Nissa is just so dang good at this deck. So we'll kind of, like, I think you want to do maybe 2-1 either way, starting with this for now. Very excited about this one. Is Endurance not main deckable in general? 13 red cards. That's not all. We have Fury here with 2 red cards to pitch to it. Did you just miss Fire Ice, maybe? Is this 4-color with Cascade? Yeah, but Shardless Agent always hits Up the Beanstalk. Man, this hand was so beautiful, but we are up against Tron. Going to be a hard deck matchup to win. That being said, we have 4 Charmaws on our sideboard at least. Is it? Yeah, we already talked about this in the deck. Yeah, but you could play second Omnath over second Nissa because of pitch count. The thing is, Nissa is, like, insane in the stack, so I don't know. A little bit of give, a little bit of take. Alright, let's see what they get off the Karn. Maybe just a Sundering Titan. Yeah, we have a lot of sideboard cards for Tron. We got 3 Commandeers, we have 4 Charmaws. They get Oblivion Stone. I'm okay with that one. Just gonna play into it, I think. Oh. Deck is really beautiful. There's a lot of matchups for this draw. Is, like, just so beautiful. Okay, do not care about that very much. I guess starting the land is kind of something here, huh? Okay, let's go ahead and evoke a Fury. I think I'm going to pitch a Bloodbraid Elf. I'd love to find a Binding so I can get rid of the O-Stone here. There we go. The Binding will cost 2. Spike, is the Beanstalk really... Is it really worth cascading into? Are you really watching the stream? Chatters, who asked that? Why not fire it? I want to kill it for 0 mana when I have infinite cards in my hand. Like, I have infinite cards. I want to use 0 mana to answer it. Hoping for a Worm Coil. There we go. Another relic. Yes, I think I'm going Nissa, fetch, bounce, Worm Coil. Oh, sorry, Teferi, bounce, Worm Coil. Don't really mind that one. So they have Worm Coil, 2 other cards. Can we beat an Ulamog? Well, that is the question we gotta find out. Or answer, I suppose. We need to find more fetches. I don't really like having to Solitude Ulamog because they get to gain so much life. Nissa, O-Stone, good targets. Let's see, so I did draw a fetch land, so Omnath will be free to play here. Probably gonna go Omnath into Bloodbraid Elf. Well, I guess the problem is with Bloodbraid Elf is I won't be able to find another binding for the O-Stone. Could just cycle a Fury to start off with. I think we have to Solitude. Casting Solitude right now is a losing play. I think I'm cycling I need to find a Leyline Binding for the O-Stone. Okay, what's the plan? No, I guess this sees me unable to binding. Yeah, now we're pretty dead. Yeah, I don't know why. I should just not have cast this, but don't really feel like there's another line since we missed on the binding. I'm super dead. Let's go to game 2. Cycle Ice. Yeah, maybe cycle Ice. The problem is like, and then I still like. I guess I could draw a white card off the Up the Beanstalk. Tough game, of course. Got a lot of sideboard cards to come in. Okay, so I think we can cut the Furies for the Charmaws. Could go way down on Solitudes. Like, 2, ideally. We also have the Bindings, though, for their creatures. I want to keep in Teferi because it's a blue card for Commandeer. Maybe even play, like... I don't even know if we have Binding and Teferi for their creatures. I think I want 1 Solitude. We got Cityscape Leveler pretty hard the other day. Could also play like 1 Wear Tear over the Solitude, but let's do this. 34 card Deep Snooze to 1 card. I mean, that card is an Ulamog. I don't know. It is what it is. Tron is pretty good against these kind of decks. Wear Tear on the play. Yeah, I don't know. It could be okay. It's usually not a card that I love in this matchup. So we don't have a Charmaw. We do have a Bean. My opponent's on a Keep. I'm going to try a hand like this with this matchup. I don't know. This could be just wrong to keep, but I think this hand does have enough upside for me to give it a go. Oh, so they're level to 5. Okay, never mind. What's the concept behind Bloodbraid Elf? Like, very simply put, it's a really, really good card in the deck. It gives you enough red cards for Fury. It's really good to cast. I don't know. The thought is mostly that the card is great in the deck. So notably, my Windswept Heath here can't get me a Steam Vent, so if I draw a Charmaw next turn, I need to like also draw like red card or something. Okay, so they play their other Tron piece. Blue card? Not a blue card. So since we didn't draw a blue card, I think I'm just going to
Is there a card called Wisdom Teeth?
No. Why?
I thought
You thought I heard say Wisdom Teeth? I'm trying to think what you might have heard instead.
Did you say anything? Windswept Heath.
Oh, yes, Windswept Heath. God, I can't believe you figured that out. It's funny.
Well, you know, words.
Words,
My wisdom teeth. I think that should be a card, actually.
I think so, too. The One Ring, huh? Obviously, really wish I could have commandeered that, but... Wow, what an incredible draw. Oh, shit, I forgot to play my Nissa first. I was just so excited to draw Charmaw, I'm sorry. I just didn't play my Nissa. I was just too excited. Okay, we at least have Commandeer up. They mapped for Power Plant. You know, they could probably find Tron again. We also have, you know, Commandeer up now, which is nice. Why can I Commandeer? Commandeer is not just like a strictly better Force of Negation. You have to pitch 2 cards instead of 1. Oh, I had 1 blue card in the hand. Okay, so they play mine? Why would you play mine? Just don't have enough mana. Okay, well, I'm gonna let this resolve. Okay. Not commandeering that either. I think I'm hoping to hit Bloodbraid Elf off this Nissa, of course. I think I make red. It matters so much. Let's go. Nissa into Bloodbraid Elf. What a turn. Into Teferi. I think I bounced the ring. I would really love for them to replay ring here and I can commandeer it. Would I side and commandeer against Scammer Yogg? Commandeer only stops non-creature spells. This has been like a very common, like we keep having commandeer and people are like, wait, why didn't you board it in? Why didn't you commandeer the creature spell? I don't know why everybody seems to think it's just like the best card ever printed. Is it? Bounce Charmaw after attack? I think I like bouncing the ring. This is sick though. Let's go! Oh man, just another day of commandeering with Beanstalk. Is Bloodbraid Elf worth it? Yeah. Bloodbraid Elf is great in this deck. Although usually if I'm playing a card, I think it's worth it. You know what I mean? Man, I haven't had an Ugin in play in a while. I don't think I'll get to activate it. Yeah. Does it look worth it? Remember that we could like Nissa into it also. What makes Bloodbraid Elf Ardent Plea? I don't know if maybe you goof it around. But like, do modern players think that creatures don't matter? that having a creature doesn't matter? Bloodbraid Elf is like an Ardent Plea that's also a 3/2 haste, and it pitches to Fury, and you can find it off Bloodbraid Elf. Well, Ardent Plea is like literally, Ardent Plea is just like a dopey 3-mana Beanstalk. Bloodbraid Elf is Bloodbraid Elf is like it comes with a 3/2 haste. That's good. It's like a 2-for-1 instead of a 1-for-1. It's like the people are also like, they like yesterday all day people were like, who cares about this 2/2? But the 2/2 is like so nice to have. In some ways, dopey creatures too are like better than. It's kind of weird to say this, but like dopey creatures like Shardless Agent, Bloodbraid Elf, they're better than regular creatures because they just come with spells attached, and your opponents have all this removal that they're like, oh, I guess I have to throw this over there. Ardent Plea does pitch to Solitude. Yeah, this is always the argument for weak cards, though. It pitches to your card, right? Okay, hopefully they play something into my Commandeer and I draw a Charmaw. Mr. Sari, 33 months from one Scales Game to another. Here's to many more W's. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. My opponent tutors Basic Forest? They're just begging for me to Commandeer this. I don't have a Besage. If I had a Besage in my deck, I would Commandeer. But I don't. Let's not. I can go like Nissa into Shardless Agent into 3rd Beanstalk. Kind of weak to a Ulamog, but I can also maybe beat an Ulamog here. They have Veil. I mean, Veil doesn't stop Commandeer. And like a big way, these like dopey creatures are also our win condition. For what it's worth. Make a token. Yeah, we're getting Ulapogged for sure, which we can't Commandeer. Oh. Well, they don't have. Oh, they do have Ulapog mana because of the Scion. I can't bring myself to Commandeer this. I don't know. See if they reveal Ulamog to it. They reveal Eugene. My Eugene. Thank you. Man, I'm literally drawing. I pitch 2 cards, draw 3 cards, steal an Ugin, 0 mana. That's insane. Dude, Commandeer is broken now. 23 cards deep, no, no, Charmaws yet, unfortunately. Screenshot? That was just too normal a turn on twitch.tv/aspiringspike for it to be a screenshot. Oh, I don't have enough green. Oh, I thought I had another green source. I guess I only have 7 mana anyways. Okay, so usually Bloodbraid in the Shardless is good, but we already have all of our beans. I think you can argue Bean is better than Ring. I honestly at this point don't even think it's an argument. I think the Bean is definitely better than Ring, which is just so crazy to say, but I think it's just true. I don't even think it's that close. It's close. It's close. Chromatic Sphere. Maybe we should have iced the tower. Kind of down to like double fire them though. Can I also ice a Worm Coil, maybe? Ring of Skulls. Yeah, that's certainly relevant. So I can put them to 1. But yeah, I think we're gonna fire them. And then Agent puts them to 3. Can I go Nissa into Agent? Or so into Bloodbraid I can. Can't quite kill them this turn. It's very funny. We've done this twice, but both times we've already had all 4 beans done. So I beat Ulamog, right? The Ulamog, I guess they Ulamog these 2 or 2 creatures, and then yeah, then I can go Bloodbraid into Ice or Bloodbraid. Yeah, Bloodbraid into Ice works. If I lose anything, this is it, I guess. If you ice the tower in response, they couldn't activate? Yeah, they could. They could float the 3 mana from the tower. Yes, they could activate. So they can't tap that ring or they're dead. Okay, and they're also... Well, they have protection from everything. Oh, so this is cost 1. Let's try to Cascade into Teferi. I think we're somewhat likely to. There we go. Maybe fire the card. I was gonna attack the card with all my creatures while my opponent has pro everything. I think they'll probably tap the ring. Okay. More disciplined than I would be here for sure. I mean, Charmaw's mostly for Tron. You bring in some number against, like, Hammer Time. GG. Alright, well. I don't think a Spatial Contortion will save you, friends, especially with Teferi in play. Wow, it feels great to, like, win Game 3 against Tron, where we didn't draw Charmaw. We did have a really good Commandeer. But being able to win on the draw without a Charmaw is exciting. Shock Steam Vents. Could be Mill. Or sorry, Living In. Unlikely to be Mill. And Cyborg cards and Cascade of Stone Silence, Curse Stone for like to refer always hit Bean. I mean, we're just like so good in those matchups already. I don't really see a good reason to sideboard Curse Totem and Stony Silence. Like we should be like pretty good. Like we're a Fury Solitude, Leyline Binding, Bean deck. All these cards are just so good against them anyways. I'm just gonna evoke Fury here if this resolves. I guess I'll do it anyways, actually. Force Pitch Shardless Agent, yeah, let's just go to evoke. No ring. Yeah, Bean is much better than ring in this deck. And you have eight guaranteed beans with Shardless Agent, and Bloodbraid hits Bean a lot of the time. But like the Bloodbraid Elf is better than the one ring in this deck by a pretty significant amount, I think. They're actually doing pretty good against Shardless Agent here, right? We're not doing good against the second force, but if they had a second force, would they have main phase this? I don't know. I get to go Teferi, bounce Waker. I have Binding for the Generosent. Or should I bounce the Generosent and Binding the Waker? I think this makes sense since I don't want to give them like the double. I'm chump blocking anyways if this resolves, and I don't want to give them. I want to give them that cycle effect, the force cycle, rather than like the opt or whatever. Don't think there's like a comparable cantrip to this, I guess. You kind of need to fade another Curator. Why no Rin? Because if you play Rin, you might accidentally Cascade into it. So if I go Nissa, fetch land, I can get my Triome and I can cast Binding, but I can't also cast Beanstalk. So I think I just go Beanstalk, Temple Guard, and Binding, and I can Nissa fetch land next turn. Nagging Thoughts, right? Yeah, that is the effect, huh? Sleight of Hand, yeah, but it goes to the graveyard. It's a Nagging Thoughts. They have main answers to Teferi. Sometimes they play Fury. We got a Teferi Fury yesterday. I mean, if we beat Tron into Living In with this deck, that's like a pretty convincing start for me. B-Crow with the Twitch Prime, thank you, welcome back. It's a good draw. Yeah, this deck is... I think it's early. I was also up super late last night. My dad had gallbladder surgery yesterday. It went well. I was up late because it went longer than we thought. And then I was like late into the night working on this. And it's just the deck is so nuts though. The deck just is looking so nuts. It's like it's early to say this still, but I think this may just be better than like the existing 4-color bean deck, which is exciting. That is a really, really difficult archetype to innovate on. You know what I mean? It's hard to like work on that archetype and be like, I found a better version, but I'm not saying that is for sure what's happening here, but it's seeming like that might be the case, which is by itself exciting, I think. Maybe I consider playing one Ren and 6, but I haven't really missed it so far. Yeah, it's also like way more of a hero deck than than you typically find with four color builds, since we get to do the whole Bloodbraid Elf thing, which everybody loves, of course. Oh, they have a force negation. Okay. Looking for a white card. Okay, cool. Probably just main phase this to play around Violent Outburst a little bit better. Yeah, I guess also if I drew like Fury red card, I could, you know, just dump that in the yard too. So they have another Cascader, they get 2 Generous Insecurator, we get a Solitude and a Fury. We have Nissa, Fury still in hand. We're probably beating another Living End right now pretty handily if it's not like Cascade, Cycle, Living End. They have 4 forces, how do they still always have it? I don't know. They just cycle their whole deck into it, right? It's kind of like the whole formula, cycle into whatever you need. Could probably use all my mana this turn, or enough of it I'm just gonna shock. Well, better late than never Omnath. Am I evoking Solitude here, actually? Yeah, I kinda want to find another Teferi. We just have so many draws, too. I think I'm actually binding here, so I draw 2 cards and I deny them 5 life. Now I try to hit a Teferi off my Bloodbraid Elf, although they're also just dead. Spike isn't Ardent Plea better. Look at all these, like, I just have 3 random 3/2 haste, they just win the game. Isn't Ardent Plea better? Does 9 haste power even, does it ever do anything in Modern? I don't know. Okay, I don't know, it's early, it's really early. This might be it, y'all. This deck has like just so much potential. I think it's such a weird build. It's like, I think, so unintuitive. I'm excited about it. All right, I think in endurance, outbinding. Commandeer's not actually very good against Living End. I'm gonna bring in the caverns, of course. Just I'm not sure exactly what ways we're cutting when we're bringing caverns all the time. I've been kind of leaning towards Misty. It's actually kind of a Lrien Revealed. Sample size of 4 games pretty awesome. I don't know. I'll say this: the deck has been looking insane, and we're like, what's very exciting to me about this is we've been crushing. We've played against Tron, we played against Living End, and we've been crushing them, and we're just kind of like executing our normal game plan. We're literally just outvaluing those decks. If that one Omnath was a Time Warp, we really need the Omnath for like pitch count purposes. It could be correct to play a second Omnath over the second Nissa, but Nissa is so insane. You've seen Nissa be so insane already. Yeah, we could play more Caverns in the 75. I know for sure. At least right now, I really think I want the first copy, but I'm not super convinced we want more. Yeah, we'll ban Bloodbraid Elf again after this deck, huh? Seems like there's not enough white card for Solitude or just always hardcasting it. I have 13 white cards. That's not always hardcasted territory. This deck gets to cheat also. This deck gets to cheat on your pitch card count because you draw so many cards. It's kind of unintuitive. But like yesterday we only had 12 white cards and it felt totally fine. You just see so much of your deck that you're gonna draw into cards to pitch. Okay, we have Endurance, green card, 3 lands, Teferi. We're gonna keep. Commandeer comes again against 4-color, blue-white control, Tron, and then like a few more obscure matchups. But the card is really, really good. We stole Ugin twice already today. But it's like 4-color and Tron, maybe the preeminent 2 matchups. I don't know. I should probably be concerned enough about Blood Moon with them leading on basic islands. I think I could just get planes next turn. It'll be okay, probably. Is Commandeer good against creativity? I would board it in, yeah. I'd board it in. Oh, I guess it's bad against the card creativity, but it's good against like their Teferis and their Fables and stuff. There's a reason why I turn this on over Force of Vigor. It helps with your pitch card count post board, which can be relevant. That's mostly it. Is it helps with your pitch card count. You could play Force of Vigor instead still. The pitch cards are so good because you draw so many cards that I certainly could be on that train of thinking. It is also crazy, like they like kind of have to force Up the Beanstalk, and can they also force Teferi and deal with the Endurance? Seems like so difficult. Yeah, I was worried about this Blood Moon. I guess I could have played the Misty to play around it. It was just kind of tough with having the Zagoth Triome in hand. I also boarded out my bindings, which is maybe a mistake. I also trimmed a Lrien Revealed, which is also maybe a mistake because I can, get a basic island. I guess I just didn't really sideboard too heavily with Blood Moon in mind, and then like turn 1 immediately. It's like right on my radar, which probably means I did something wrong. We do still have we could draw a forest to cast Bloodbraid Elf. We could draw a Lrien Revealed to cast Teferi, which could maybe unlock the rest of our hand. We still have Endurance up, so we have 4 good draws here. So they're not playing a land, so they have 3 spells in their hand, probably. Be harder to get cheesed by Blood Moon Game 3, also. Okay, I can Solitude that. Let's go ahead and just see what we draw first. No need to Solitude now. I'll Solitude before they untap those, so they couldn't hardcast the Subtlety. Also, so I don't go to discard. Discard Omnath to hand size. Don't hate it. That would mean I have to pitch one of my Teferis, which I don't really want to do, because they might counter the first one. Okay, glad they're not casting anything else big here. Don't have infinite time. Should have a lot of time still. We have, again, four cards that kind of get us out of the situation. I think good for us that they're just running this out. Maybe it means they have a second copy. Okay, Lrien Revealed, Forest, Island. 4 good draws. 1 in 11 chance. I've had a lot of looks at one of these so far, but... Don't mind this either. It's bad if they have another subtlety, of course. Kind of just gives me infinite time, and it's also going to be really difficult for them to get to a spot where their living end is going to be good. Since they don't have subtlety in their hand, or I don't really think they could ever be saving subtlety for this endurance. Why didn't I hardcast? Oh, I'm just punting, I guess. Sorry, I don't know why I thought I could have hardcast it. Yeah, I was just punting there. Okay, big draw. I don't know why I thought I couldn't hardcast it. I mean, it's kind of like looking at these, maybe, but... Yeah. Yeah, just playing around living end, huh? Which they're never casting anyways. No, I should have hardcast for sure. I wonder if we were favored to hit here. It obviously doesn't really matter. Yeah, it also is flat. Am I still on 4 Cauldron Scales? At the moment, yeah. Yeah, we're probably not drawing Teferi next turn at least. Alright, one more look probably. Well, I guess we could go to 1. Game continues, maybe? Back to our holding pattern. But it may... I would expect them to have a Cascader in their hand and they just realize they can't go for a living end. Because they haven't grieved to see endurance yet or anything. Okay, we drew 1. It feels really bad that we don't just have infinite... We could have had infinite Teferis, basically. I suppose it also feels kind of bad that they have 2 Blood Moons that we can't really get out from underneath. Could have played around that. We just need to find our forest. Wow, I'm very surprised they cycled Striped Riverwinder there. Wonder what maybe they have another. They must have another 7 in their hand. Main phase, evoke endurance. Pitch violent outburst. So if they have another dispute, they get me pretty bad. Or a subtlety blue card. If not, this is like a 4 for 2, kinda. Okay. Oh, that's true. Now we have more Teferis in the deck, which is kind of funny. Can Teferi bounce the Generous Ent? Which they can replay. Alright, go Endurance. Counter a food token with this attack. How can they replay it? Tap 7 mana. Cast it. In Magic the Gathering, you can tap lands to cast spells. So we actually have an attack now. Hallowed position is Monterey Prison, and it's exactly the same strength as it always has been. Whatever that means to you. Against you, Fire Fury, that's 6 damage against a 7 toughness creature. Welcome to the hand, Hallowed Fountain. Happy to see you. So, probably just have to try to double block, I guess. I'm not sure. I like that they get to kill my Fury, but I keep the Endurance around. Fuck. Oh, they're punting so bad. They should have done 3-1. Yeah, now they have to attack the Teferi. Which I don't want to block because I need to trade here. Buy myself a couple more draw steps. We've seen a lot of cards. Basic Forest is in there somewhere. We've shuffled a lot to the bottom, too. That ain't it. Under shuffle, but shuffles them into the bottom. We didn't shuffle the forest, and it's still in the same position it has been for like the last 10 turns. Alright. Man, I even knew I needed to play around Blood Moon, but I just got so baited into having a tap land. I also prioritized getting a plains instead of a forest, which ended up being really incorrect. It's okay. So now that we know about Blood Moon, I think I'm going to play the Lrien Revealed over the Gemstone Caverns. That's easy. We'll have easier access to Island. I don't know that I want Leyline Binding. I honestly feel like if I just prioritize getting Forest, I can cast... if I get Forest Island, I can cast everything besides Teferi and hardcast Solitude. Maybe easier said than done. Blood Moon's also like much worse. I'm not gonna bring in Binding. I think Blood Moon's a lot worse on the draw. They may even like trim some number on the draw. Where Terra, it's just I just feel like on the play it's gonna be so easy to play around Blood Moon. Binding over Fire. Yeah, I like Fire. I don't mind Fire Ice. The tap land's pretty nice. Yeah, if we have Forest, we get Nissa for a little bit of fixing. And it is kind of nice to have 0 bindings in your deck. Like, to have 1 is weird because, like, oh, I have 1, I need to get Domain. If you have no bindings, like, your Blood Moons are easier. Yeah, Commandeer the Blood Moon. Plans did allow for Teferi, which wasn't necessarily wrong call at the time. I mean, I fetched you because I was just thinking you get Plains against Blood Moon decks, but I forgot I boarded out my bindings. I should have got Forest. My opponent is obviously also, like, at this point, reconsidering their sideboard plan with how much time they're taking. So I also don't mind that so much. It's nice that the Lrien Reveals too. Like, you could just prioritize getting Forest and Plains, and then these can get you your islands later. Okay, let's keep this. Should be okay to get Plains, and then Lrien Revealed for basic island, ice them in their upkeep, and just hope to draw any land for Teferi. Or green card's also a fine draw. If they grief, I need the Cyclone response. Binding would have broken up the board state. Yeah, Binding would have been good in that game. But I just think what I'm saying is I think game 3 is like much less likely to go like that game. I really like this basic Plains. Just went through today. Found out I have this basic Island Dart there, and then I have my basic Forest, my favorite basic Forest too. Guess Second Fire Ice is good, not drawing another land insurance. Okay. They only have a Street Wraith in the yard at the moment, too. Okay, we didn't draw a green card to just feel, like, really comfy, but... CW just not really gonna matter this game. Yeah, what set is this? This is Dominaria United. I think you should EOT this. This way if they play a blue source and tap, you could play around Mystical Dispute. Yeah, that's maybe a good thought. This feels like Force. Good read. Good read. My 3-mana non-creature spell not resolving immediately? What could that be? Nice. I just leave that in play out for them also, I don't know. See if they have another Force. I think it's kind of too juicy to not bounce this. I also would like to find a green card at some point. I'm probably casting that one. Kind of bad to bounce it if they have Fury, I suppose. Poor Esther has to close my door like 5 times a stream because Lucy just opens it, you know. Yeah, we get plus first Fury. The thing is, like, they're not doing that. We're pretty covered against a Living End already, so I don't feel like we need to. That makes sense. Focused Affinity, 11 months. Thank you. Yeah, the Prime stuff could be weird sometimes. Thank you for waiting it out. Okay, no 1-mana spells I could be holding up by tapping differently. Nice. I guess I actually hold Beanstalk for a green card just in case. Don't think we need to play the bean right there. I would not have the fortitude downside, so my single endurance is enough. Well, it's not just the single endurance, it's like the fact that I'm just beating their graveyard probably. Like, I think I'm not that likely to lose to Street Within. So they have to have Cyclers plus Fury plus... They have to have Cyclers plus Cascader plus Answer for the endurance. It's just so much that they have to have here. They pitched another Fury. Wait, why did they kill my Bloodbraid Elf if they're gonna go for a Cascade? And, you know, maybe you've jinxed me here. If they have Endurance green card or Subtlety blue card as their last 2. I guess Endurance green card would be fine. They were getting the Fury back? Well, they just shouldn't have killed my Bloodbraid Elf, right? They should have just killed the Teferi and left the Bloodbraid in play instead of giving me another creature. Although I guess they were thinking that they could just kill the Bloodbraid Elf with the Fury ETB again. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Max with 20 months, best 100 I ever spent. Hell yeah. Joe with the 9 months, thank you as well. Okay, so we kind of punted game 2. Didn't play around Blood Moon. Deck is looking good though. Gonna keep. Okay, Hammer matchup should be really good, but our hand at the moment is not particularly impressive against them. How cold does it get in Texas? In the Dallas area where I live, it gets below freezing, you know, in the winter sometimes. I could swear that happened once. It gets cold, I don't know. Okay, imagine we draw a Fury here. Shock Demons to Bluff Bolt. Maybe. In Texas freeze some years ago with no power. Yeah, it happens. It's a big state. Like it's a huge state. There's a lot of different climates too. In some places, it doesn't really get cold at all. Okay, it's not as painful as them having a Shadow Spear for protection there. Bouncing Stoneforge Mystic will be painful also. If they don't have a third land, we have to do it. If they draw a third land, I'm dead. If I don't draw Fury... It's okay we lose game 1 too. This is like probably our best matchup, and sometimes you lose a game 1 against your best matchup and you're just feeling fine. Any good resource on how to build a mana base in Modern? It's probably like 2 or 3 years old now, but I did write a article on that topic for Channel Fireball. I wrote one on... I wrote two... Oh, okay, they just are not killing me. That's great. Oh, they are killing me. That's worse. I wrote one on like how to choose like your lands for decks. I wrote another one too, like which lands to choose. It's a little, it should be out of date. I think my knowledge is like, you know, higher than it was earlier, but it's probably still a good one to check out. Take. When it's okay, they had 2 different lethal avenues. It's fine for them to think about which one's better. I want some Charmaws. I think 2 Charmaws. I want 4 Nissa. I think I want to go down a Teferi. 3 is probably an okay number on the play. And I think I'm going to go down 2 Bloodbraid Elf, 2 Fire Ice. Slower the curve a little bit. I was like reference fetch lands. Yeah, I think I had some like comments on how to select fetch lands and stuff. I think it was probably like the best article I ever wrote. I will keep this against Hammer. But that's the thing about articles is nobody reads them. Is what it is. Why Shardless just for the beans? Yeah, beans are really broken, and you can just build your deck like this and guarantee that you're always going to Shardless into beans. Do you think a Bean Miracle turns deck with Otherworldly Gaze to stack Miracle and Power Trespass has legs? I don't know. It sounds not very competitive at all. It sounds very fun, but we also just played like Bean taking turns yesterday. We just played Time Warps. It's like you don't want to like. You know, the problem with putting Otherworldly Gaze and Temporal Mastery and Terminus in your deck is you have those cards in your deck, and, like, you're just gonna draw... You're gonna draw the wrong half of your deck half of the time. What about Bloodbraid Elf? Bloodbraid Elf is great. Bloodbraid Elf is just like an actually really, really good card in this deck. But it's weird how Bloodbraid Elf gets a lot stronger where you're not cascading into, like, Thoughtseize. And all of your, like, you know, shitty junk cards. Put him to 4? Oh, man. I can never really see them beating this hand on a to 4. I'm gonna play this tapped because of Nissa, I guess. What beans? Yeah, I've tried to build Bean Reclamation a couple times. The thing is, like, all your cards in Reclamation cost 4 because you want them to cost 4 so you can go wreck into them, right? Maybe I could have shocked and like killed the Sentinel. I kind of want them to play into Fury. I have a friend who would be very upset about that statement. Well, your friend can maybe be thankful that I built a good Bloodbraid Elf deck. Alright, opponent, I have 6 removal spells in hand. Your turn. Hope they draw Urza Saga. Also, opponent, you can't mull to 4 and cast Hammer like this, I think. It's just not gonna work. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. You're supposed to hold the hammer here, I think. Yeah, I'll take a 1-for-1. It's okay, opponent. You can go to game 3 anytime you like. Take your time. Take your time. Now we get to fuse Wear Tear next turn. Let's give another Surge. So we want to main phase the Wear Tear so they don't have Surge active on their turn, I guess. Yeah, if they have a Surge, I mean, they get to play longer. Alright, congrats to them. I'm gonna attack. Didn't want to be binding the Sentinel last few turns, you should have triggered it. Maybe. I feel like they're just like, as soon as they play another creature, they're getting Fury. I don't know how much I care about the Sentinel at the moment. Opponent, you just like can't play around Solitude. You're on a Molda 4. You gotta draw your card off Paladin. Solitude already blows you out here. You know what I mean? Like, I just get to do this. I think. I don't know. I guess they think they could play around me not having another removal spell. Just in general, when you're on a mulligan to 4, just don't play around things. It's my recommendation to you. Just jam. Probably concede to the Wear Tear here. No, opponent, don't keep playing. No, you don't want to keep playing. You don't want to keep playing. Yeah, too much muscle memory, I agree. It's a good way to put it. Yeah, I'll take a draw step. I guess they could draw Saga, to be honest. Saga's like a card that you stay in the game with. We go down one more Bloodbraid Elf on the draw. I'll just get that curve nice and low. Put up a sticky metagame for Hammer. I mean, the 4-color decks are good against Hammer in general. It's kind of the problem with playing the deck at the moment. Your matchup's so bad. This deck has been pretty exciting, though. Ooh. I mean, I'm just stuck in a mulligan, a 7-card hand with double Solitude. Triple white card against Hammer, despite me not being able to, like, hardcast anything. I'm on the draw, too. You know, I have 26 lands in my deck. Although one of them is now Gemstone Caverns, to be fair. Why we hold land? I have Nissa in my deck. I kept a 1-lander? Maybe not. Oh, maybe yes. Yeah, they're like, I'm not mulliganing again. I feel that. Wow, they don't have a Stoneforge Mystic? They definitely have a Pure Steel Paladin. Okay, I think with Fire Ice, I'm just going to pass. It's kind of tempting to go to Teferi. Teferi, let them draw a card. It'd be nice if they missed their land drop again. They kept 7, I think. 7 on the... I have a lot of opponents keep 1-land 7-card hands on the play. And then this happens all the time, too. They just, like... It's hard to even articulate how often this happens, that I have an opponent keep a 7-card 1-lander, and they miss their second land drop, and then they just hit every land drop after that. think I want to keep Wear Tear for Saga here, just to fairy bounce the Paladin. So nice to have Teferi against like the possible surges. Either Paladin or Forgenew. I don't know. It's kind of hard to think that they would keep a 1-land Hammerhand with Forgenew because they have to draw 2 lands instead of just 1. But yeah, maybe. Isn't this losing if they find a land? Oh, let me read. I have 2 Solitudes in my hand. Let me read them to you. This is a 5-mana spell. Flash Lifelink. When Solitude enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 other target creature. That creature's controller gains life equal to its power, and you can cast it for 0 mana if you exile a white card from your hand. They tapped Inkblood Nexus here as like a fun mind game to really get me. What's great about Solitude is the games you never have to cast it either. Although these beans be pretty tempting. If we draw a land, we get to Binding. If we don't draw a land, we get to draw a card. They get to gain 22 life, but you gotta give your opponent something, I guess. We also can't cast Omnath. I pitch Omnath? I don't think so. I think Omnath, like, I gotta attack with something, right? Excuse me. Oh, I also can't get Zagoth Triome and be able to cast Omnath. It's kind of awkward to draw Breeding Pool, Forest Island. Not that big a deal. Just block. I wanted to hit my land drop. I don't know. There's not really a way to lose this game. You know what I mean? I guess I get Steam Vents untapped, actually. Binding the Forgenew. This deck also had Red and 6. The problem with I genuinely think the problem with Red and 6 is it's just not a good hit off Shardless Agent a lot of the time. You could play exactly one copy might be correct, but I think I'm happier without it at the moment. Safe with my Solitude up here with it, especially with Teferi. Could be like a little risky to play Beanstalk here. This should be okay. That's some shitpost. Yeah, I don't know. People have sincerely suggested Red and 6. I think it's not that. You know, obviously Red and 6 is crazy these decks usually, but I think you just want to always cascade into Bean. Would it be too greedy to Solitude the Inkmoth? Just like no reason to Solitude the Inkmoth. Greedy wouldn't be the right word because you're just throwing away value. Which I would say you're spewing if you take that line. So you just fuse Wear Tear next turn. Maybe Hardcast Fury. It just doesn't matter. This game's so over. Hardcast Fury at least clocks him pretty good. Although I think I should probably Charmaw fuse Wear Tear since this is going to be... Oh, I don't have enough red mana to Charmaw fuse. I'll just wear probably then. Do you think Bean is borderline too good? I'm starting to. Starting to, yeah. The fact that so here's the, I mean, the ring, a lot of people were thinking was borderline too good. A lot of people thought it was just too good initially. Up the Beanstalk is, I think at this point in time, just I think it's hard to argue that the Beanstalk is not better than the ring. I think that most people have been pretty engaged with Modern, been keeping up with what's going on, would agree that Up the Beanstalk is better than the One Ring. And if the ring was borderline and Up the Beanstalk is better, yeah, maybe Up the Beanstalk is too good for Modern. Which is like pretty wild to say. Yeah, it's just 2 mana, you know what I mean? Like that's you know, it's 2 mana. The ring is 4 mana, this card is 2 mana. It's not that complicated. That being said, it's also like, what's kind of fun about Beanstalk though is it is a card that everybody loves. Like Bowmaster is a really good card that everybody loves, or the majority of people love. The people also like hate the One Ring, but they don't really mind the Beanstalk so much. I think people love the beans. Keep it so bad. What about having some number of rhinos in sideboard for pivot? The problem with that is that rhinos are worse than Up the Beanstalk. Period. I would rather cast Up the Beanstalk than Crashing Footfalls. I would also much rather draw Up the Beanstalk than Crashing Footfalls. We put back Lrien Revealed. Yawgmoth should be a good matchup. We're on the draw on a mulligan though. That last hand would have been great. I don't understand how Up the Beanstalk is that good. Okay, that's fine. That's what we stream for. I encourage you to watch and learn, baby. I'm gonna ice them on their upkeep here. Would I say Bean is better than Sylvan Library? In this deck, I would much rather play Up the Beanstalk than Sylvan Library, yeah. It's like not even close. I need to do something this turn, probably. That counts. It's a little weird. It's a little bit weird, though. Okay, I have to play this Raugrin Triome so I can Bloodbraid Elf next turn. I think I'm just supposed to main phase this Solitude. It's like next turn off the Bloodbraid Elf, I'm gonna hit Shardless Agent into Beanstalk, Teferi, or Nissa. All of these are gonna be card advantage for me, so I think I just need to slow them down to like let this card advantage engine come online. My hand is also, you know, 2 Furies, which is really good against them. Cauldron, it should be fine here. I think we get Plains. Yeah, Fire Ice would have been interesting for sure. Okay, Teferi is not a bad hit at all, but it is also our worst hit, which is kind of funny. I think I'm bouncing the Cauldron. This card can get kind of scary with like Horde for 0 for Ballista. There's a bean. Why didn't you end of turn Fury? Ha 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 ha. Why not just the enchantment and hold Solitude for later? I cannot cast Leyline Binding. I had no white sources. I did trophy with Bean Blast. No, sorry, I didn't. We went 3-2-4-1-4-1. And then we didn't trophy yesterday either. Yeah, I think we went 3-2-4-1-4-1. So if you draw a red card, I'm gonna Beanstalk Evoke. Probably just need to hardcast here. Pretty sure I'm supposed to undie the Geist. Although I kind of want to bait them into putting a counter here. I don't want them to be able to save the Young Wolf. And then they didn't fall for it. And I'm really happy to trade Bloodbraid Elf for Geist, so I'm going to do this also. Let's keep the board clear. No, they need something else. It's, yeah, Chord plus Young Wolf plus Cauldron, or Ballista plus Young Wolf plus Cauldron needs like a Undying effect, right? Okay, so I can't kill this Grist until I deal with the Cauldron, right? Thankfully, they just mill over a forest. I really just want to cast Beanstalk. I have so many, like any red or white card. I'm just really happy I cast this. I like that we get to see what we're drawing before we get to choose the targets. Yeah, I'll just go 4 damage on Strangled Geist. I'm going to send Bloodbraid Elf at Grist. I'm going to send Fury at my opponent. Nyx is unplayable. Isn't there just like a better... They just printed a better Nyx, didn't they? That like also doesn't see any play, but is like just strictly better. Minor misstep. So I need to Solitude the Yawgmoth, of course, not Fury it. I'd love to draw Binding. Binding would make things a lot easier. Maybe I wasn't supposed to pitch that one turn. It felt correct at the time. Just like Snap Evoking. Okay, hold this for Nissa. Which also been pretty nutty. I actually feel like for this matchup I haven't drawn, like, the fact that I missed on Beanstalk was like kind of tough this game, but I don't know. This is a really good matchup for sure. Now they besage you, my bean. One thing that's kind of crazy about Up the Beanstalk is when they kill it, it's like just always such a good exchange for you. It's like a 2-mana enchantment. It's like there's a 2-mana enchantment that drew me 3 cards, and then they besaged it. It's just kind of crazy. Oh, for Fury, not nutty. I would have like rather like drawn a Beanstalk, or I don't know. What I'm saying is I have many much better draws in this matchup than what I had. I don't know. I have many draws that were much better than this. I feel like that qualifies as not the nuts, right? So you're gonna go down to 1. Can't activate Yawgmoth. Also, Fury's like not as good against Fury's not as good against Yawgmoth as it used to be. With Cauldron, Fury is like a lot like less powerful than it used to be. Yeah, this is a matchup where we like just don't sideboard. I think I'm gonna go in a Caverns, down a Lrien Revealed. I guess that's sideboarding, but maybe I want a Wear Tear. Pitches to Solitude Fury. I think the first Wear Tear is maybe better than like Teferi 4. Do we break it? It's early to say, but maybe, yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to do the trophy prediction. It's okay, we'll just do it do a prediction next match. No, don't bring in Endurance against Yawgmoth. Usually there's some exceptions to that, but I wouldn't recommend it on average. Okay. Okay, I would probably keep this if, or I may be more inclined to keep this if any of these were green sources, so I could go Nissa, Fetch Land turn 4. I think on the draw against Yawgmoth, I'm just gonna mulligan. Not in love with this hand either, but I will keep. Have I tried the Bean Bring to Life version? I think that deck is not that good, to be honest. I don't know, it's okay. It's just like, it's just the version of that deck that is better in the mirror and worse against Scam. Oh, maybe I should have got Zagoth Triome turn 1, so I could go turn 2 Fire Ice, turn 3 Beanstalk Binding. Yeah, I think I'll just play Beanstalk turn 2 now. But yeah, for the most part, I tend to not like the 4-color decks that are just better in the mirror and worse in every other, or most other matchups, which is what I perceive that deck to be. I could be wrong about that dynamic, but that's my perception. I think this deck is better than Beam Blast. That deck's pretty good. This deck has been like just so insane so far. I don't know. Is the Burn matchup a concern? Yeah, Burn is probably not a good matchup. And, Commandeer maybe helps. I don't know. Maybe not. So I have Court for Bowmaster up. This version good against Scam. I would say that this version is good against Scam and good against 4-color Omnath, which makes it exciting. I'm not sure how good the matchup is against Omnath. I haven't played it yet. But my instincts would say that we are favored in like the mirror, pseudo mirror, whatever, which is a big deal. I think we draw a lot more cards than them and put a lot more pressure on board, which seems like that would be the winning formula. Consider Elishnorn for the mirror. We could play it, yeah. I need to play the mirror match to find out like how favored am I? Am I not favored? I need to figure that dynamic out first, so I can know like what kind of sideboard cards we need for the mirror. I guess I should have played my Heath first, so I could Binding a Bowmaster in response to the trigger. They don't have it though. I guess it's like actually it's just incorrect to cast the Binding now. I need to save it. But I don't draw a white card or a Fury. It's kind of tough. And I only get to draw 2 here. All the Ardent Plea askers got you to put Bloodbraid Elf? That's kind of funny. I feel like the opposite. I feel like all the Ardent Plea gamers didn't get why Shardless Agent is good, and they also I've had a few people say today ask why Bloodbraid Elf over Ardent Plea. Okay, I need to not just get got by Cord here, so we're gonna wait again. Yeah, I like obviously second Omnath would be nice because it gives you better pitch colors, but Nissa is just ridiculous in this build. I really want to keep the second copy in. I'm just not sure that we can afford to. Oh, I should have made green. That's what's nice about playing these kind of decks, of course. It's just so hard to get punished for any misplay. Alright, just hold up the Solitude now. Sure, can't really do anything with this mana, right? Yeah, it's just gonna tap like Sacred Foundry. I think this is a spin card that puts a creature from an opponent's deck under player control. Could be really good against 4-color Tron. I don't know. I just like Beanstalk is so insane. Let's just like not try to play these like weird sideboard cards for the most part. I think it's a better strategy to play like sideboard cards that meet your deck building restriction, like Commandeer, Charmaw, Wear Tear, Endurance, Force of Vigor. If we play Force of Vigor instead, play these cards and draw into them off Beanstalk. To me, that just makes a lot more sense. And that way you like know what you're hitting when you're casting Shardless Agent. I guess I am actually tapping out of Solitude at the moment. Maybe that was... Okay, they... Takenuma back. Bowmaster. Yeah, I should have probably not cast Omnath there, actually. I do like the idea of getting Stony Silence. You're not the first person to say that. I don't really know why, though. It's like we're so good against Hammer. We have a ton. We have a million good cards against Scales. We have a lot of good sideboard cards against Tron. Why do we want Stony Silence? Pan with the 6 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Can't even say anything, but just gotta chuckle a little bit. I guess I don't have another white card in hand. I don't think I'll cast Beanstalk, try to find one. I think I'll just be shields down against a one. You know, I'm not even that cold to Yawgmoth at the moment anyways. What do you think of the Alchemy Arena nerf One Ring? Bowmaster, you think it makes them more balanced, or are they not an issue in the first place? I don't know. It's a complicated question. I don't like... Those cards are clearly rebalanced, also not for the modern format. I think like Bowmaster would maybe see like nearly no play if it didn't have this ETB effect. It's just like... It's just kind of apples and oranges. I don't know enough about like what Alchemy Historic is like to comment on like if these were good changes, but I don't think that they would have been as interesting for the modern format. I think Ring is like, I don't know. Can't really comment because they just were not rebalanced for modern, if that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna get a trophy prediction going. And a really easy breezy 4-0. So Commandeer does not stop living in, no. But you have endurance and Teferi against them, and you're also just kind of comfortable. You should just be kind of. Oh, this is Red Green Titan Shift. That matchup is probably really bad. Not even really sure what the plan is. Wow, what an awful matchup. Another point for Elishnorn, I guess. Gain life off Omnath, maybe. We have Commandeer in the sideboard. Oh, this is nice. If you commandeer the shift after land sacrifice, does it work? No, you have to do it before. The land sacrifice is part of the spell resolving. You can't counter or commandeer something after the spell resolves. So we can go to Teferi, bounce binding, binding the ring again. A little awkward. Suspends the search for tomorrow. Oh, they kept the wrong one. It's funny. So Teferi stops the suspend also. Yeah, if you drop a league without playing a game, you do get a refund. Okay, love seeing Dryad, I guess. Happy to have drawn my one of Omnath. Let's evoke Solitude. No, let's evoke Fury. Don't really need to save the Bloodbraid Elf for more value. It's like we're just gonna have infinite value here. Do you need to think about maybe this Misty Rainforest being gain 7 instead of gain 3? Yeah, I think that trying to gain a ton of life here is possibly the plan. Could also, like, you know, Solitude my own stuff, maybe, if I'm super desperate. Just concedes. Just concedes. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, sure. I will, say nothing else. I'd probably bring in the Charmaws. Just 5 mana Avalanche Riders. I think that's worth bringing in. It's hard to cut Teferis because I need them for blue card count for Commandeer. The do also stops the spin search for tomorrow. I think I need to trim 2 copies. Then I think I go down like 2 Solitudes. Trim a Fury. 2 Solitude Fury? Seems okay. Maybe I play more Solitudes because they hit Titan and... Maybe I'm on 4 Solitude, 0 Fury. Since I don't... maybe pitching Charmaw's good. Cut to Fury. I need it for blue card count. Too bad to cut all of them. I can't really cut more than like 2 blue cards, I think. This hits Teferi too, which is nice. Killing Dryad at instant speed is pretty relevant. Yeah, on the draw Teferi doesn't stop suspend. It does if you have Gemstone Caverns, I guess. Or if they just don't play into one. No, we need Bloodbraid Elf to kill them. Bloodbraid Elf was also, I don't know, really good in the deck. You could trim 1 if we're really concerned about blue card counts, I guess. Nice to have Gemstone Caverns. Hand needs help, though. Is Commandeer that good in the matchup? I mean, they're a 1-ring Scapeshift deck. I definitely want to board in all my copies. It's like one of our only ways to stop Scapeshift. Certainly seems like a card I really want to have all my copies of. I don't know. Would love to draw a Shardless Agent or Bean. What are they thinking about on my instep here? 1-ring Scapeshift, probably Wish. Yeah, Commandeering Wish is not nothing. Only maybe just Commandeer the spell they get most of the time. Can you not Island Cycle on their turn? If I want to Island Cycle and play a Triome off my Island Cycle, I want to do it main phase. Alright, big draw step. Not a big draw. Oh, we're just saying I could have cycled on their turn with the caverns. I wasn't sure I wanted to cycle it. If I drew like Commandeer specifically, I wouldn't have wanted to cycle it. But I see what you're saying now. I guess I go Teferi into Omnath Charmaw next turn. Kind of wish I had drawn this last turn, but we'll take it. Make sure I have a fetchable red source. Oh, I guess I should have played Heath, because I can't get Steam Vince off my Heath. So next turn, if I draw Sacred Foundry, I can't go Omnath, fetch it on tap red source, cast Charmaw. But if I keep Flooded Strand in my hand, I can draw either Steam Vince or Sacred Foundry and still be able to do that. Obviously, not very likely to get punished, but seems like worth thinking about. Okay. How did I get game one? They kind of flooded and they scooped a little early. Did not feel like I probably should have won that game. I don't know. I also like they had a really one ring focused draw and I got to binding their rings a lot. I got lucky for sure. Yeah, they probably think that their Valakut's pretty safe. I guess it's a problem though if they... I'm still like dead to Scapeshift next turn. I don't think I'm dead to Wish Scapeshift at least. No! Fuck, dude! I don't know. This is what I get for doing my whole dissertation last turn on why it was wrong to play the Heath instead of the... You just know if I don't give this dissertation, I never draw the Sacred Foundry. But the fact that I like had to take the time to point out why I made the mistake, that's the only reason why we draw the 1 in 48. Come on, dude. Yeah, I know. I should just have not said anything. I'm gonna block your Dryad of the Elysian Grove, dude. What am I missing here? Okay, deal. Deal. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay, that's probably dying next turn. I guess I could hit another Bloodbraid Elf off Nissa. We'll see. Oh, okay. I get it. I get the attack now. You had a very odd hand that made the attack reasonable. Very specific hand. Ding, 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 ding. Nice. Just gonna cast that, I think. Make Scapeshift not lethal. And doing it the hard way, huh? But it would have been nice to be able to attack with this and like kill with fire. We can maybe fire both dwarf tokens next turn. Pass back. Wait, are we really gonna 2-0 Scapeshift? Oh, maybe not. Okay, Ren and 6, fix up Valakut. They have 3 damage here, which can kill Nissa, maybe? Okay, they killed Nissa. Spoke a little soon. They have another land, just a basic mountain. Targeting me. Why didn't they quad block Omnath? Yeah, maybe that would have been good. Yeah, I guess That would have been fine. Okay. So, cast a Solitude, draw a card. Don't think I have enough mana to go Agent, Hardcast Solitude, Fire. Yeah, I'll just not play another bean right now, which is painful. I am dead to top deck Scape Shift. Opponents, you can't make it this easy, dude. You can't play the Scape Shift deck and concede when you can top deck Wish for Scape Shift and win. Or like the One Ring. Like, come on, dude. You gotta play these games out. Yeah, I gotta play these games out. I don't know what to say. They didn't play out game 1 either. Like, they were still, like, pretty live. I am not paying the actors nearly enough. Okay, that was the easiest 5-0 I've had in years. They didn't need to draw green sword plus Scape Shift? Oh, they only have one. Yeah, I guess if they only had one green.